Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
I think I can get him before he gets there. He's almost in range.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
It's too big to be a space station.
What is going on, you guys? Pep Platypus here, and it is time to finally get back into those Young Justice double reviews, starting off with episode 15, War. The plot to this one is pretty damn simple. This dude named, I believe it was Mongol, he comes down with his fucking Death Star, and he's like, well, the Reach controls you, so I'm just going to do you guys a favor and put you out of your misery. And basically, what's remaining of the Justice League and the Young Justice team have to go in there and fuck shit up and tear apart his Death Star from the inside. Then we get the Blue Beetle shit at the end with the crystal, which I don't really know what the crystal's supposed to do, but he wants it, the Reach wants it, he betrays everybody, which I wasn't expecting to happen so quickly, but it's fine. And yeah, maybe it's because I've been away from Young Justice for a while, but man, the fight choreography and the animation in this episode was really top-notch. Animation I kind of expected. I already knew the series has really, really phenomenal animation, but the fight choreography was really, really cool. Really, really awesome. I love the way the characters work together to fight this guy. This guy, by the way, this Mongol guy, he looks a lot like Darkseid. Is that just me? Like, he looks a lot like Darkseid, and they were talking about how he used to rule a planet, and then a different dictator took over and dethroned him. And I'm wondering if they're, like, the same species, and then that would be Darkseid that took over. I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas. I've never heard of this character, so I don't know if he's, like, a good representation from the comic or what. I just know from watching this episode that he's very, very strong. And he looks like Darkseid with a different skin color. But, I mean, maybe not exactly like Darkseid. He's a little bit more broad-shouldered. Maybe that could just be the art style, though. I don't know. I'd have to see what Darkseid would look like in the Young Justice art style. But, yeah. Definitely similar, though. Definitely similar. But, yeah, the episode was really cool. It was really cool seeing all of the team go in there. It was cool seeing the missiles and having everyone stop them. The Reach even had to jump in and send their ships in, which I really want to know what the repercussions of that are going to be, because if nobody noticed them launch a fleet into space, like, they lost 2/3 of their fleet, which I'm glad they finally took a hit, because, you know, I mean, they got the crystal, which sucks, but it's good to see the bad guys actually take a hit and not be in total control all the time, because it adds a little bit of back and forth struggle there. But yeah, they sent in their ships, lost 2/3 of them. I'm really hoping someone noticed them do that, because it seems weird that no one would notice they sent their ships in and they came to Earth all peaceful and shit, so where did all these ships come from? That's the point I'm trying to get at, but just have to wait and see what happens. And then you also get some characterization and development with, I think his name is Mel, I guess he is the new Guardian now, which is pretty cool. Him and his girlfriend are bickering, which is kind of annoying, because it's always, like, I don't like that cliche where it's, like, not the time, and yet the two characters still bicker with each other. I don't like that cliche, but it's okay here. They underplay it a bit. It's not too bad. They still get the job done overall. They don't make any major mistakes. And yeah, his idea being what saved the day does sort of redeem it a bit for him kind of whining. And then they talk to each other, and they have this little moment where he's like, yeah, you outgrew me. I'm done. You know, we can be done if you want. And she's like, no, that was okay. I'm not super invested in their relationship, but it was nice to see a little bit of closure to that whole, you know, her kind of drifting away from him thing. And then we get the Blue Beetle shit, and I was kind of like, well, if he's betraying right now, is he really, like, capable of taking all these guys on at once? But they do it in a really smart way by having him not only catch them by surprise, catch them off guard, but also take a lot of them out very quickly. You know, he drops Mongol's body onto Wonder Girl and then fucking, you know, staples her down. She's out of commission. The first couple that he knocked out and everything, of course the human ones can't fight him very well, so they handled it pretty well. Even Superboy, once the oxygen was out of there due to fucking Arsenal. He is such a loose cannon motherfucker, but he actually got away, so but yeah, it was kind of his fault that Superboy lost. I mean, I don't know if Superboy can beat Blue Beetle in a fight at full strength, but low oxygen, yeah, he's basically fucked. So, yeah, but Arsenal getting away was interesting. And they're still inside the Death Star thing, right? The War Planet thing, or whatever they called it. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, I believe they're still inside, so I'm curious what they're going to do there. But yeah, he betrayed, so that's going to cause some major ripples in the story. Also, in the beginning of the episode, I almost forgot, we do see the Justice League on trial. I believe this was like a month ago or something. It said it took place in April, and then when Mongul attacks, I think it said May. So yeah, got a little bit of a backtrack in time to see them on trial and everything. Of course, no one's buying that they were under Savage's control. Savage is actually there watching, which is kind of funny. And yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen. Also, Green Lantern said that if a Reach has control over a planet, Lanterns can't go back there. So that's kind of an interesting little treaty they have going on. So some really cool little tiny bits of world building, kind of building the lore of the universe of the series, and there was some really, really good action, and the animation was on point, voice acting was good, a little bit of characterization with the new Guardian, and I guess her name's Bumblebee. I don't know what her, I haven't been paying attention to what her actual name is, but, you know, we got some characterization there, the big thing with Blue Beetle at the end. It was a really, really good episode from a story progression standpoint. It really was. I'd probably say story progression alone is easily like a 9.5 out of 10, but you add on top of that the really good action. I mean, this was like the climax to a movie. Like, you could easily see this being, a movie, yet somehow Young Justice does it better than DC movies probably would do it, because they don't have a good track record right now. I mean, Man of Steel's okay, but like, it's just so funny how this series probably has like 1/10 the budget of one of those big movies, and yet it can tell the story and do the action and everything so much better. But yeah, it's a good episode. It's a really good one. I'd probably give it a solid 9 out of 10. I thought it was easily a fucking amazing episode of Young Justice. So, with all that being said, let's move on to episode 16. War World. It was fucking called War World. It's such a simple fucking alliteration name, and I forgot it. Anyways, episode 16, Complications. Complications is right. This episode was fucking intense. We got a lot of really cool Miss Martian, Aqualad, covert, you know, keep your cover, you know, don't blow your cover, combat, which was really cool. Then we got some Blue Beetle stuff at the beginning and the ending. The Blue Beetle stuff at the beginning is basically just Nightwing kind of looking around, and he kind of sees some, you know, some damage around the area, and he sees one of Robin's, I think he called it a Birdarang, which is ridiculous, but he sees that has like Blue Beetle fucking, like those little fucking parasite things on it. So clearly it hit him, so why would the Batarang hit him, or Birdarang, whatever. And at the very end of the episode, we see him come out with the Reach, he unmasks himself, and Nightwing is not fucking pleased at all. Very pissed off. And that's just the side parts of the episode. The bulk of the episode is, Aqualad and Miss Martian and everything. It turns out she's got him fixed. She was able to fix him, but he's staying in like a fake comatose state so that they don't just kill Miss Martian. And then Cheshire and Sportsmaster come in, and then it's this crazy fucking game of like, her collar's on, so she has no powers, so you have to disable the collar, and then Black Manta's on his way, and he can't barge in when Aqualad is standing up and talking to Cheshire, and they take out the camera, and it's really complicated, but really, really cool, and it's total pins and needles. At any moment they could get outed. Miss Martian finally decides, you know what, Cheshire and Sportsmaster need to be in on this plan, so he gets them in on it. And yeah, it's really cool how the whole thing is set up. Of course, Sportsmaster's like, yeah, fuck the light, go ahead, you know? He's like, yeah, fuck them, do your thing. They leave, Miss Martian escapes, Aqualad is back to normal and still does not have his cover blown, he's still undercover. Same thing with Tigress / Artemis, so that's really cool. I like how the whole thing played out. It was a really, really intense, fun episode. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. In terms of story progression, Miss Martian has gotten away from them, and Sportsmaster and Cheshire are now in the loop on this, which is interesting. Which I feel like even though they are bad guys, they do sort of have the right to know because they're the family. Also, the mom knows now because Cheshire's going to tell her, which I feel like that could backfire, but I don't know. I don't know if they would really go after her for any particular reason, but I feel like that could backfire, like her knowing that Artemis is alive. But anyways, that little thing aside, the episode overall, there really isn't much to say outside of it was really, really good. Of course, great animation, great fighting. If I had to nitpick, I'd say Miss Martian's attitude when she was, you know, pretending to be, you know, against them and everything. She sounded a little too mean. You know what I mean? Like, Miss Martian really, that's not really her personality. But at the same time, under the pretense that, you know, he killed Artemis and everything, maybe she would have a different attitude. Plus, they probably don't know her on a personal level to know what her personality's like anyway. So yeah, total nitpicking, but yeah, the fact that she got away was pretty damn good story progression. The Blue Beetle thing at the end is really interesting, because at the beginning of the episode, we find out that everyone got boom-tombed out of there, including Mongol, so they aren't there to say, hey, Blue Beetle betrayed us, and he plays it up like, oh, it was my fault, blah, blah, blah. Of course, that gets outed at the end of the episode, but they just needed to, you know, convince him one more time that he's on the good side so that he could get out of there with the crystal, and then he revealed himself to be Reach. So, once again, some really solid story progression in this one, and yeah, it was a really good episode. I'm curious what's going to happen with Miss Martian and everything, and I'm pretty sure everyone pretty much knows the Artemis Aqualad thing at this point, right? Well, not everybody, but a lot of the main characters know now. So yeah, I'm very curious where things are going to go, and what's going on with the group that got boom-tombed out of there, apparently. I don't know where the boom tube was, but okay. So yeah, it was still a really good episode, though. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I'd probably say it's probably like an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a very good episode of Young Justice. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hopefully I'm not, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. But if I did, you guys can comment in the comment section below. I really, really like this episode. Like I already said, don't want to repeat myself or ramble too much, just because I already feel like I did that a lot in the first episode 15 review. So, with all that being said, what did you guys think of these episodes of Young Justice? You can tell me in the comments section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm Pep Platypus on both. You can also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.